Hi there! Today is my first experience with Sony and I'm gonna check for the first time my Sony new A6700. I'm gonna check the image and video quality today, and I'm gonna use my little buddy to help me for autofocusing on animal detection as well. I'm going to use my lens Tamron 20 A75mm and we're going to see how it works. I mean, I have no idea. I said that I'm a very new user to Sony and that's a very new camera I got, and I want to see how it works. Let's go and see it together. Well, the handheld of this camera is so good because it's too light and it's so nice. So first of all, we're gonna go and check the autofocus on human eye detection, on my face, and also on animal. So let's go and see how it works. Well, I have done the test on its autofocusing and I think it was doing very well. So we're gonna sit in my back to my studio. We're gonna check it together. Right now I'm gonna go and check the different formats of the video shooting with it, and also I'm gonna check the different modes with the LUT format. So we're gonna see how it works in videography. One of the other very interesting things that I found it only in this Sony camera I've got it is this menu. This is the FN menu which you are seeing on the screen. This is the kind of a very fast access to the menu which I can customize based on what I need. I can customize my camera, and I can shoot my videos, much more easier with this function. And the other option that I fell in love with this camera is one profile which is called Cinetone. With this Cinetone, you can record your videos in cinematic mode. There is a movie touch in it, and without any process or any editing, you can have that video in it with the movie touch. And this is so amazing, and you can customize this profile based on what you require and what you need. This is so good. This is what I really love about it. Well, the other good thing about this Sony camera is that, because I told you that I'm a new user and that was my first experience with Sony, was that kind of a option which is enable me to have one profile on my camera, and when I'm recording my videos in log mode, so on my camera I can change it to the different formats, like for example A6700, and I can check it on my camera before going back, for example, to my PC or editing mode. So that's a good actually help, I think, which is I'm experiencing now with my Sony, and I'm so glad to have it here. Well, the other option which I tested was about the stabilizer. It has two different stabilizer modes inside it. One of them is standard stabilizer, the other is the active stabilizer. What I checked and what I tested in this camera was not actually similar to my Canon or my Fuji set. It was not that strong, I think, but anyhow, I should go back to my studio and check it on monitor and see how it is actually. Well, right now I'm gonna check the stabilizer mode and see how it is working. Now it is off. I'm switching on standard mode now. And that's the active one. Well, I have done the test with this kind of different formats of video, and I think it was doing very well, but I have to check it in much more details. Anyhow, right now, as far as I have this golden time, and before getting that darker, I want to go and check some photos with it. So let's see how it is in photography. Well, we have finished the testing today, and back to my studio. We're gonna see all the shots together and we're gonna see how it worked. Well, that's then another feature I wanted to talk about it with this camera. This auto framing. This is so exciting. And there's an option inside of which you can adjust your timing or framing based on what you need in it. This is so good, especially for bloggers who wants to set their camera somewhere and make them movements and the frames as well done. So I like it, and I think only this Sony camera in different models got it. So I'm very happy to have this feature in my camera as well. Well, I have done my testing on Sony A6700. As I told you, I'm a very new user to Sony, and that's why that was my first experience, which was not bad. Well, for me, there are some advantages and of course some disadvantages about this camera. First of all, let me talk about the advantages. First, the price. $1,400 US. With this price, I could buy this new model camera, which with the same functions or the options that this camera got it. With the other brands, I must go with the very older versions and of course second-hand. The second good option about this camera is the weight. It is very light and this is a small. That's a good one, which you can, for example, have it for some of your videography or photography projects in the streets, events, or even weddings. So that's a very good option about it. The third one, which I really like about it, is that fast access option. While you are shooting your photos or videos, you can access to the very fast menu under your screen and make any adjustment or changes you want. This is very good, I think. The fourth one, which was so, I think, suitable, especially for me, and also maybe for many different photographers, that when you are recording your videos in S-Log3 mode, you can change it to the different LUT or different formats inside your camera before taking out to the PC or in a kind of an editing program. So that's very helpful, I think, and you can see it there in your camera. Of course, there are some other options which I think all the Sony camera got it as far as I learned and study about it. For example, it's a Cinetone profile, which allows you to record your videos in a cinematic touch and mode, and you don't need any special process because the self process of this camera in Cinetone profile is so good. Lighting, colors, shadows, everything is there, and you just need to record it, take it out and use it. So that was one of the good options that I think it has it, and I was happy with it. Of course, there are some other things which, as I told you, some other Sony cameras also got it, but I'm just want to talk about this A6700. And now let's talk about the disadvantages of this camera. Well, for me, there are three big disadvantages, or I can say three big failures. First, and the most important one, I put this camera for 1 hour on a streaming mode, and it was not even recording, so just a streaming mode, and it got overheat. After 1 hour, I couldn't record any video with it, and it was getting off immediately. So I think that's a very big dislike to this camera with this big disadvantage. The second, I think, is the SD card. It got only one SD card, and if you want to use all the features with this camera, like me, you have to spend minimum between $200 to $250 US to buy, for example, V90 SD card to make it useful. That's a very big also dislike about this camera. The third one is the stabilizer. You can just use in an active mode of a stabilizer, and it is, well, so-so. I cannot say that was perfect. No, it was even so-so. So a stabilizer in this camera is weak, and most of the time working with handheld doesn't work with it, even though this is very small and light. And at the end, in my opinion, which this is somehow maybe personal, I don't know, when you are working, for example, with Canon or maybe with Fuji, having Sony like this in your hand, it doesn't give you that kind of a feeling. I mean, I'm talking about the material. It feels, I don't know, it's so cheap, I think, or it's like a toy, as I said. It doesn't give you that feeling of taking photo, the shots. I mean, that classic feeling. I don't know. I think you understand me very well what I'm talking about. But well, that was all I could say for my first trying, for my first testing on this camera, and I wanted to share it with you. Of course, I'm gonna go and try something more, but I would also love to hear your comments or maybe your advices about this camera to me. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. I would love if you can subscribe to my channel and support me with more videos that I'm gonna make for you. And until my next video, see you later.